Hi, how's it going? I'm Marlena. Thanks for wandering by. So, I have something fun today. I got inspired because the other day I saw a video from Jess at Jess Reads Cards. She had just gotten, or I think she had recently started working with this deck, the Lost Hollow, which is it's an indie deck. I'm pretty sure it's still in print. There's a standard size and a travel size tin version, I think, of this deck. I'll leave links to everything below. But when I was watching Jess's walkthrough of the Lost Hollow, it's obvious that this deck, I mean, it's not just obvious, it's also discussed when you look it up and read about it, that this deck is inspired both by the Smith-Waite and the Thoth. So today, what I want to do is a side-by-side comparison of all three decks and decide if the card is more Smithy, more Thothy, or if it's kind of goes its own way. So that's what we're gonna do because I want to do it and I'm just putting it on camera to share it with you guys because that'll be fun. So we're going to, without further ado, we're gonna get into it. All right, so here we go. We're going to take a look at each card from the Lost Hollow and compare it against its Smith-Waite and Thoth counterpart and see if the image, and I'm mostly just going with the art and image here, if it's more of a nod to Smith or more of a nod to the Thoth, and then we'll make piles and see where we land in the end. Well, we're starting with the Fool, of course, and clearly it seems like this Fool card with the crow or raven, I'm not sure. It does have a butterfly in it, which is more of a nod here to the Thoth. I wonder if we should put it in the Thoth pile because of the butterfly alone. I think we might do that because it seems like of the images, it's making a nod to Thoth more than it is to Waite Smith. Okay, so we're gonna put it over here in the Thoth category. All right, let's take a look at the Magician. So it's called the Magician, like the Waite Smith, but this imagery. So it's got the lemniscate. Does it have? Trying to see. My gosh, my lighting is terrible. There's a knife here. Is that a pentacle on the wrist? I think that might be a pentacle on the wrist. And I mean, this head is separated from the neck. You could say that that's maybe a cup. Is there a wand anywhere? And he's holding the wand. Oh no, he's got a cup, duh. I didn't see the cup in his hand. A cup in the hand, the wand. So this is definitely a Waite Smith, more of a Waite Smith nod, I would say, than, because it's really about the tools in front of him, the lemniscate. Yeah, so we're gonna call this one for Smithy, not Thothy. All right, the High Priestess. My goodness. Okay, well, the High Priestess is holding a pomegranate that they're squeezing. There's the moth here and the raven. I mean, if it has the pomegranate and it has the two, well, I mean, there's two pillars on this for the priestess in the Thoth as well. I think because of the pomegranates, I'm gonna say that this one is more is giving more of a nod to Waite Smith. And then there's the crescent moon. Is there? Well, she's got, yeah. So it's gonna be, we're gonna give that one, see if it's more Waite Smith. We're saying it's more Waite Smith. Okay, the Empress. Obviously, yeah, this Empress has it's doing its own thing, but because of the 12 starred crown, is there wheat? No, that's just like vegetation. I'm not sure if that's wheat. But it's clearly not giving the nod here. It's clearly giving the nod to Waite-Smith. And let's take a look. Oh, okay. So the Emperor, the funny thing is that the Emperor for Waite-Smith and the Emperor for Thoth are very similar as well. They've got the red tones, they have the ram, they're, let's see. So his cross is the same as the one here. There's ram horns. I don't know. This one, is it more? Let's see. Oh, he has bees. So that's more Thoth. Yeah, that's definitely more Thoth. And that's because the Emperor has bees in his coat. And you see the Emperor again with bees on his coat in the Lover's card. Okay, so this one is a Thoth. A Thoth. More Thothy, I would say. All right, let's take a look at the Hierophant. So this Hierophant is clearly more nodding towards Waite-Smith because of the cross, the crossed keys. There are no supplicants here, but the trees are pillared kind of. And he's seated in a throne. Well, this Hierophant is seated in a throne too. But they're making the same gesture on the same hand as the Hierophant here in Waite-Smith. Okay, so that one, I thought this deck, see now, I came to this pretty much feeling that this was more of a Thoth deck than a Waite-Smith deck. So it's gonna be cool to see. Okay, so this Lovers completely goes its own way. Probably the first of these, except I noticed something. I wonder if you guys that are big Thoth fans noticed it too. Do you see this row of swords? That's a nod to the Thoth. That's definitely a nod to the Thoth. But do we think that this goes its own way otherwise? Because clearly there's no angel. This is a couple and like the mirror has shattered and you can see various different couples, or I don't know if it's it's various different couples. It's not the same couple repeated in the glass shards. What a cool Lover's card too, by the way. I like that a lot. So I don't know. I think because it has that symbolism of the swords there, that it's really trying to give it a nod to Thoth. So we're going to put it in the Thoth pile and take a look at the Chariot. Okay. So let's look at this Chariot. This Chariot is really cool. This is hard to see. Let me see. I feel like this Chariot is doing its own thing. It's hard to see. It does have the symbol for Cancer, which is the zodiac sign associated with the Chariot. I'm gonna say that this one with the raven and the nightscape, and I mean, I guess it has the two moths, but it's not anything at all like these. Is there a crab anywhere? Do we see any little hidden gems that give us an idea? The stars. No, and there's, it's really kind of its own thing, I think. I want to say, but if you disagree with me, comment below. So we'll put that one up here. That's its own way. And now, okay, so now we have where the Thoth and the Waite-Smith diverge. So we have the adjustments and strength. So this deck does something really cool. So it's giving its nod to both the adjustment card, and the strength card comes here as well. So we can do both. So like obviously this adjustment card is the nod to the Thoth. So we'll put it over here with Thoth. And well, before I move that, this strength card at 8, it's giving its nod to the Waite Smith, clearly. So we're going to put it over here. All right, so we can move on. Here we have our Hermit, and we have the, you know, your typical hermit with a cloak and a lantern, and oh, but this hermit has, this is definitely more Thoth because it has the Orphic egg with the snake, and it has the Cerberus. And yeah, look at this, look at that. Yeah, that's definitely more Thoth in its imagery. Now we have the Wheel. Okay, Wheel of Fortune always disappoints me, like in every deck. I really would love to see something new and different. So we have the 4 fixed signs, which is more reminiscent over here of Waite Smith. And then we have the wheel in the center, but we have this figure holding the wheel. And we have Anubis and a snake. Oh, you know what? Oh, my goodness. Yeah, this really feels more like Waite Smith, but it's got a lot of the patterns in the background that are more like Thoth. This one feels, oh, maybe I need a different category. This one feels like it's very much divided between the two. It's giving kind of half and half. It's 50-50. It's not going like its own way, but it's like really divided kind of equally, I think, between the two. I don't know, that's not Anubis. I forget what the name of this creature is. With this god. I don't know, this mythical figure, Egyptian mythical figure, I believe. You would have to tell me. Anyway, I think I'm going to create a new category. So there'll be 4 now. There's going to be, it's going its own way entirely. It's a 50-50 split, or it's Smith Waite, or it's Thothy. Smithy, Thothy, its own way, 50-50. Okay? And that's where this one's going to land. All right. So now we have Justice. And I believe also Easy Justice goes with Justice over here on this side. And then this is Strength, which is supposed to be like Lust. This certainly feels like it does its own thing though, don't you guys think? Because it looks, actually, it's more like Strength here. Right? I should have kept it out. What am I thinking? It definitely seems like it's more like a Waite Smith Strength because of the lion, the lemniscate. I think I'm actually going to give this one to the Waite Smith side, because this is definitely not the Lust card reminiscent at all. Right? I don't see anything about it that makes me think this one. All right, so here we go. Now we have the Hangman. Let's see. Oh my goodness. So this Hangman is clearly underwater. Oh, this is more, it definitely feels more like of a nod to Thoth. We have the, is that an Ankh? That's what that's called, right, you guys? It has the element symbols here. Is that down there? And yeah, the foot is going this way. So this one is Thoth, more Thoth inspired than Waite Smith inspired. Okay, so Death. We have the skull with the rose. We have a crown. It's this close-up though, so it's not, you know, like either one. It doesn't feel like it's in the water like the Death card of the Thoth, which really is an important piece of it to me, if you ask me, about it being in the bottom of the sea. But because of this crown, I don't know, would you say that this kind of goes its own way? You know, it's got the rose, which is the nod here. Is it trying to be split? Is it trying to be split between the two, or is it trying to do its own sort of thing? This is hard to say. Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was gonna have so much trouble with this. All right, let's say because of the rose here, the crown here, I think this is maybe like a 50-50. That's what I'm gonna go with, 50-50. Okay, now we have Temperance. So it's called Temperance. The angel wings are there. This is clearly the Waite-Smith interpretation. It's not the art card. We don't see the joining of the lovers here. So definitely going on this side. Here we have the Devil. And the Devil is, yeah, this is more of a Waite-Smith devil because it is a goat human figure, and there are people that are bound. Here, I mean, I guess there are people that are captured in the in the goat testicles. Well, in the testicles anyway. I don't know if they're the goat testicles. Anyway, so this really doesn't seem like it's, oh, except it's got that like feel with this like inky splatters in the back that it is trying to kind of nod to Thoth in that way. Oh, and the eye. Does this devil? No, this devil has the upside down pentagram. Is there an eye? A third eye? I've never really noticed that about the devil. So I'm gonna say 50-50. Final answer, 50-50. Okay, tower. This is more of a Waite-Smith tower to me. Unless there's something that I can pick up that makes it more Thothy. Nope, this is a Waite-Smith tower to me. Yeah. Lightning, yeah, no hellmouth here. Waite-Smith. The star, I'm sorry. Oh, look, there's a plus size person and it's not the world. That's why I said the world, because it was a plus size person and I'm like trained now. It was Lisa that said that the other day, and it's kind of like stuck in my head that like the world card is the only one that puts plus size people. But here, look, here's the star card. Okay, so we have, let's see. I mean, so this clearly feels like a celestial figure outside outside of the planet, like in the universe somewhere, whereas this feels like it's definitely grounded with 1 foot. Yeah, that's more of a nod. This feels like more of a nod to Waite-Smith than it does to Thoth. But if you guys will indulge me, so the ibis is the in the star card in the Waite-Smith, but there's butterflies all around her, and there are butterflies in the Thoth. There are butterflies. Tiny little butterflies. That might be a bird, but here it looks like butterflies. Those are definitely butterflies. This might be doing a 50-50 because also with her positioning, like her feet are positioned like the star in Waite-Smith, but the pouring is more like overhead, like we see in Thoth. So I'm gonna do a 50-50. This is a 50-50. Okay, moon card. So this moon card, yeah, this moon card is definitely more Thoth. You can see it right off the bat, right? You have the figures. Are those Anubis? What? I don't know. I don't know my Egyptian mythology well enough. But you have the scarab beetle. You do have water like here, but this is clearly more of a nod to Thoth. So let's just move on. And then here you have clearly more of a nod to Waite-Smith with the child and the horse and the sunflowers, but I'll have you notice the 12 zodiac signs in the sun, which is a nod to the Thoth. So this is kind of a divide. Is it 50-50, would you say? Because like, look at this imagery here. Is it 50-50? I'm going to give it 50-50 because it's really definitely clearly attempting to give credit to it, not give credit, but like it's clearly giving a nod. It's clearly inspired by both decks. So we're going to put it up here with the 50-50. Okay, we're almost done with the majors. So now we have Judgment. And okay, pretty much this Judgment card is doing its own thing. It's not the Aeon. It maybe is nodding towards the Judgment of the Waite-Smith because you have like the zombie hands coming out of the ground. But because it's really different, like this is something kind of its own thing. So we're gonna say that this is going its own way. That's what we're gonna do and put it in that pile. And now here we have the universe. Okay, so it says universe, so that's the Thoth name. It does have the wreath rather than like this pattern and like the kind of universe spinning. You have your 4 fixed signs. You have your awesome world dancer in the middle. Lemniscate. There's no lemniscate in either of these. Got the ravens, but the ravens or the crows are like signature of the Lost Hollow, pretty much. That's interesting. So I'm gonna say that this feels much more like Waite-Smith than Thoth, even though it's called the universe. Like, can we give it 50-50 if it says the name of it is the universe, but the picture is much more Waite-Smith? I'd say, okay, I'm gonna say yes, 50-50. I think it was really the intention of the creator to make this a deck that was like 50-50. That was really very much inspired by both of these different decks, both of these different, I don't know if I call them different systems, but anyway, so let's go with the wands. Okay. This wand is much more Waite-Smith to me than it is Thoth. So we're gonna put it over here. The minors, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, so here we have keywords now to look at because some of them follow the Thoth keywords, some of them don't. So the Two of Wands, this Two of Wands feels much more clearly a nod to Waite-Smith because of the globe. Symbolism. So we're going to do that. We're going to say it's Waite-Smith. And maybe I'll go a little bit faster now. So this is your Three of Wands. So I think these might end up being more Waite-Smith because they have people, not pips, or not just pips. But this, it seems like this is more of a nod to Thoth, and it's called Virtue. But the way that this figure is holding the three, or holding the branch, the wand there, I think this might be a 50-50. I think it's trying to definitely show inspiration from both. So we're gonna call it 50-50. I didn't know I was gonna make up that category. Okay, so here we have the Four of Wands, fulfillment. This goes its own way entirely. You have the dancing skeletons. This feels much more witchy, woodsy. This card is its own, going its own way. Okay, now here we have the Five of Wands, strife. Well, it does have the name strife, and it does have these flames in the back. Oh yeah, the wands are making this kind of, the wands are making this pattern. But you have these 5 masks, which alludes to these 5 people. I'm going to call this one a 50-50. All right, Six of Wands. So we have a character in a wheelchair. The wands are sort of crisscrossed in the back, which I think is a nod to the Thoth. They have like what appears to be like a wreath around their hair before their hair like flows up. There's laurels here. I think this is a combo and it has the victory. I think this is trying to definitely show both. So we'll do that. All right, now we have the Seven of Wands. So it has the name Valor. This figure is in a stance. This is clearly more Waite Smith than Thoth, I think. Unless aside from the title, we can see some other symbolism that makes it feel more Thoth in any way. I'm not seeing it. Did I give another one a 50-50 just because it also had the title? I don't know. This one just feels more Waite Smith. So we're just gonna do that. Okay, so here we have, all right, this is interesting because you have the Eight of Wands, Swiftness, so it has the same title as the Eight of Wands from the Thoth. You have the movement that you see with these eight. Are they eight? One, let me see if the core ones are eight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, because with all the offshoots. Now, I feel like it's trying to have this kind of electrical imagery here that like, you know, I don't know, that's how I think of this, is like electricity. So I do think, you guys, that it's trying to nod to both. That's what I think. So it's a 50-50. All right, Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands, Nine of Wands. So it has the moon, but not the sun. Sun and moon here. That's a Thoth nod. The stance here of the figure is the Waite Smith nod. And then we have the arrows, which is, do they have crescent moons on their tips? Nope. But there is the crescent moon symbol here and a crescent moon on this character's bracelet. I should have brought my magnifying glass out here. I might go get it if I really need it. Crescent moon. I think there's a crescent moon there. I would say that this is definitely, although fortitude is not the word, I guess they had to use fortitude because they use strength. They have strength as in the strength place because it's not in the minor. Anyway, I'm going to say that this is a 50-50. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting this to be a real, like, down the middle sort of vibe. Okay, so here we have oppression, the 10 of Wands. Does this feel like it goes its own way, or is it more of a nod to Waite Smith? It has a figure in it, but it's not a figure that's carrying a burden, a load of wands. I can't really tell if this like lightning kind of imagery is trying to, you know, be like this lightning kind, or this kind of pattern. I don't know, that looks more like flowery than, or flame-like than it does lightning. I mean, even though it says oppression, I'm gonna kind of go out on a limb and say that this seems more of its own thing than either Thoth or Waite Smith. And we're gonna put it in that pile. All right, Princess of Wands. So obviously I think that the quartz definitely go more towards Thoth. They follow the Thoth names of the quartz. And like clearly this is a nod to the tiger. And there's really nothing about this except for maybe the trees in the background, which is just appears throughout the whole deck. That feels like it's more Waite Smith. So this is a Thoth. Prince of Wands, yeah, this is Thoth. That's easy. And Queen of Wands. Okay, this one's a little bit more difficult, maybe. No, actually, it's clear. It's more Waite Smith because of the sunflowers, the black cat. That's you got your Waite Smith. So it's going over here. And the king. All right, this king, I love this King of Wands so much. But I think this King of Wands is, well, he has a salamander necklace. He's holding a lion. There's a lion on his scepter, a lion head. He's got this like mane of hair and beard. Because of the salamander, do I need to make him... I don't think that his crown is a little bit more like this crown. You guys, I think this King of Wands is his own deal. I'm going to put him over here. And let's move on to the cups. All right. So cupsy cups. Okay. This Ace of Cups for sure feels divided between the two. Because while we do have the dove and is that a host? Is that like the host or like the host with the cross on it? But it also has the lotus, and I mean there's waters, but this kind of composition feels more in line with this composition, but the symbolism is split between the two. That's pretty cool. So this one's a 50-50. I'm really surprised. I really thought that this was when Jess was going through it, I was like, oh, that one's more Thoth. Oh, that one's more Waite Smith. And I thought I was going to find that. Okay, so here we have the Two of Cups. So it's these figures, and I feel like this, I'm going to say that I think that this goes its own way. This is definitely, like, it's, you know, two figures, but I think that's where it ends, right? And it has the title Love, but I feel like this is really, with its imagery, with the open head, the spillage, like, it's just so cool too, by the way. I love this deck. Have I mentioned that I love the Lost Hollow? I really do. I enjoyed it. I used it last year around Halloween. It was wonderful. Okay, so here we have Abundance, which is the same title, the Three of Cups. We have the three glasses clinking. Are those skulls inside the cups? That's amazing. That's amazing. And I love how the arms are unraveling, like they're not real arms. That's so cool and surreal. So I feel like this is more Waite Smith than it is Thoth. The composition, like kind of everything about it. But do we have these flowers? Yeah, it's giving me more Waite Smith, even though it has the Thoth title. All right, Four of Cups. Four of Cups, this is definitely, so luxury, it's the same title, but this whole scene, this is the Waite Smith scene, right? Is there anything here that makes you feel more Thothy? No. So this one is going to Waite Smith. All right, here we have the Five of Cups. Disappointment. So the cups upside down and these cups right side up. There's this, I don't know, this feels different. Like it feels like it feels like it's more inspired by Waite Smith, but it does have like a really different energy, I feel like, in general. All right, I think that this is more Waite Smith, I'm gonna say. All right, Six of Cups, pleasure. Clearly, this is more Thoth with the whole composition of it, the flowers. I know it has a face. It definitely is more, it feels more Thoth to me. Or is it doing its own thing? No, it's more Thoth, definitely. Okay. And here we have the Seven of Cups. So this is debauch, and it's going more the way. Oh, but wait. It has this vibe of debauch from the seven of cups in Thoth. But if you look at the different cups, they have the mask, they have the dragon. This is trying to split. This is trying to do both. I think it really is. So we're going to put in the 50-50 camp. Okay. Now we have the 8 of Cups, ennui, indolence. This is the walking away. This is its own deal, I want to say. I mean, it's in the woods. There's no like mountain in the background. They're holding 2 of the cups. Is this more no, it's definitely not. Well, the 3, the 2 in the middle. Is it trying to be more like Thoth? This feels like it's going its own direction, really. So let's say that. It's going its own direction. This 9 of Cups, I feel like is going its own direction too, and I don't like it. This is like my least favorite 9 of Cups I've ever seen with this creepy clown face. So let's just call it going its own way and move on. All right, here we have the 10 of Cups, which has the Tree of Life. And it has, which is that, you know, the 10 Sephiroth, you can see like positioned here. It's called attainment, not satiety. But you have your cups also here. I think this is trying to do both. I think this is trying to do both things. Oh, there's other figures here. Interesting. I'm going to say 50-50 with this one. Okay. Now we're at the court cards. Did I skip? No, I didn't skip. So, did I? Oh, here we go. This is what I did wrong. Princess needs to be first. So yeah, so I think because of there's a split between the symbolism here. It's giving this nod to the Thoth, and it's giving its nod to the Waite Smith. I don't know if you guys can see that little fish popping out there, but if so, I think this is a 50-50. That's what I think about that one. All right, Knight of Cups. Oh, sorry, it's Prince of Cups. So it's clearly, this is clearly a Thoth. Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, this is clearly more Thoth. Okay, and now we have the Queen. And this Queen, all right. This Queen feels like this cup. Do you see what I'm seeing? Like the composition of her feels like she's actually this cup if it were to come to life. But she's a sea creature. This Queen, you can't even really hardly see the Queen's face and the Queen of Cups and the Thoth. There's fish. Is there the ibis? Is it an ibis? I forget what bird that is. I think this Queen is kind of doing its own thing. So we're going to call her doing your own thing and move on. Now here is the King of Cups, who's an octopus creature. This king is doing his own thing too. This one, I think, breaks the mold from the two of them. All right, swords, let's do it. All right, so swords. Is this Ace of Swords trying to be more Thothy or Waite Smith? Thothy or Smithy? You guys, I think it might be, I feel like it's doing its own thing, kind of. Well, it's got clouds, right? Clouds. It has a little bit of this, but there's no hand. It's in the woods. This one, I'm going to say it's kind of gone its own way, if you can, with the Ace of Swords. Because Ace of Swords is really just like the sword, the sword hanging out there. All right, here we have the Two of Swords, peace. And it's, so, okay, in a very clever way, this deck is giving a nod to both Thoth and Waite Smith, because the hair is covering the eyes of this figure. The swords are crossed, and there is a rose in the middle. So yeah, I'm gonna say that this one's a 50-50. That's really cool. I really like that. All right, this Three of Swords, sorrow. So the swords are positioned like you see in Waite Smith, but there's the rose in the center. I always enjoyed how the swords are broken or deformed kind of here in the Thoth. I feel like this is, because there's a heart. Do you see the heart? I didn't see that at first glance. This is definitely trying to do both. So it's a 50-50. Okay. Now let's look at the Four of Swords, truce. I feel like this is maybe going its own way as well. Well, it has the nod here with the hand positioning. It has the flower. It has the title. I think though that this kind of steps outside of the, soldier here. And this composition, is it trying to do both, guys, or is it really doing its own thing? I'm going to say it's doing its own thing. Okay, and now we have the Five of Swords, defeat. Clearly, this really feels like it's doing its own thing. Yeah, absolutely doing its own thing. Five of Swords. Six of Swords, here we go. It is, the composition of it looks a little bit like with the thing in the center. It's not Waite Smith. It's doing its own thing. Trying to go a little bit faster, but okay. Seven of Swords, uncertainty, but in Thoth it's called futility. This is definitely doing its own thing as well. Although, can anybody see, are there any of these zodiac, or the planet symbols would appear if it was trying to be more like Thoth. Okay, so the swords really doing their own thing. We have Eight of Swords, indecision, and we have a figure that's bound. But we have, you see the two swords here? So perhaps this is a 50-50. I'm going to say it's a 50-50. All right. And now we have the Nine of Swords, cruelty. So you have a figure, but then you have the swords dripping like you do in the Thoth. The swords are going down, not across, but you have this figure underneath that seems to be anguished. So I'm going to say that this is a 50-50 also. All right, Ten of Swords. What have we got here? Okay, wow. This is really cool. It seems maybe more Thoth at first glance, because these 10 swords in the ruin card are broken. Or there's the broken one in the middle, and this figure is shattered. It's not the knives in the back. It's not this, really. I think this, we're gonna call this going its own way, because it really is something different. All right, here we go with the courts of the swords. Princess of Swords. So the Princess of Swords here has wings here. I don't know, is there anything here that's a nod to the page from Waite Smith? it's got this like, you know, the character has like the Medusa hair, the Medusa snakes for hair, kind of deal going. It is, I don't know, it's sort of like this figure. There's a lot to do with where the Princess of Swords is seated, how they're rising up, how they're holding their sword. That really is a lot for the symbolism in my mind for the Princess of Swords. So I'm going to say that this one is doing its own kind of deal. Prince of Swords. Okay. Doing its own thing, right? It's definitely doing its own thing with its, maybe there's a, no, the sword is not positioned the same. There's butterflies. This is its own jam, which is really, really cool. I love this. This is so much fun for me to do. Okay, here we have the Queen of Swords, which is clearly the Queen of Swords nod to the Thoth. The you know, the head, the mask, everything about, yeah, that this is definitely Thoth. Okay. King of Swords or Knight of Swords here. We have a figure. This is such a cool, like this figure has daggers for feet. Oh, the sparrows. There's sparrows here and butterflies. If I'm going to give it, I think I might give this to Thoth because of the sparrows. That's kind of really trying to pull that in. All right, we're Pentacles now. Last suit. Okay, so here we have a pentacle. And so this pentacle is Ace of Pentacles. So the seed is very much the Thoth, right? But we have this like mountain landscape and this kind of flowers that feels like it's a nod here to Wade Smith. So I think this is attempting a merger, right? It's attempting both. So we're going to say 50-50. And 2. Okay. It has the lemniscate, right? Which both we see in both. But this is also a snake eating its tail. Is that a snake? Yep, that is a snake. You can maybe see. Snake. But this character is so bizarre. Although they have a big hat. And this is a crown. I think... oh, and then you see the waves in the background. I think even though this looks wildly different than either of these cards, this card is trying to infuse both all pieces of this imagery into one place. So I'm gonna say it's a 50-50. Okay, and here we have the 3 of Pentacles with these 3 witches. I'm going to say that it's doing its own thing. I'm looking though for symbolism because we have Mercury and there is, you know, Mercury, but is there Mars anywhere? Because Mars, Mercury, this is Mars in, was that Capricorn? But the Mercury symbol here, and I can't tell what's on the other 2 witches' hats, but I think it's trying to get a little tiny bit there. I think though that this is its own thing. That's what I'm gonna say about the 3. The 4, okay. Is this 4 at all like this? At all like the Thoth? 4 of Pentacles Power has the same title. I guess I stopped looking at titles, but this feels like it's more like this 4. I don't get that anywhere, really. So it's Waitsmith. Okay, 5 is very, just looking at this, the way that the 5 Pentacles are positioned, if it's trying to bring in Thoth there at all. It does have the title Worry, but this whole composition feels very much like this one. Okay, so we're going to say that this is Waitsmith. And 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, this feels very Waitsmith as well. I'm looking to see, though, if there's anything Thothy anywhere here. Not so much. The only thing I can think is that this crown is kind of like, you know, the open lotus. But that's kind of a reach. So this is a Waitsmith. And here we have 7 of Pentacles, stagnation. So this, I think, is going its own way. I think it's maybe more Thoth inspired, but the image is really doing something completely different. Well, it's this combination. Oh, and I'm rethinking. This is maybe more Thoth. Because look at the way that the pentacles are aligned. It's exactly this formation. So we're going to, yeah, and there's leaves. Yeah, so we're going to say that's Thoth. Okay, now we have, now we have the 8 of Pentacles, which is, this feels like it's more prudence, more Thoth, sorry. Yeah, this is more Thoth, for sure. So it's going to go over here. And now we have the 9 of Pentacles. So we have the woman, the bird, the grapes. Is there anything that feels Thothy about this? Except for the title? Not so much. Not really. Nope. I'm not really feeling it. So that's Smithy. And here we have the 10. Okay, yeah, this is Waitsmith more than anything. It's got the dogs and the like the generations, it seems like, of folks. So that we'll give to Waitsmith. All right, here we are. Princess of Pentacles. So yeah, this feels totally leaning towards the Princess of Discs. Wow, that's so cool. I love this Princess of Pentacles. Princess of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards in the Thoth. I actually really like the Page of Pentacles too. All right, so this is Thoth. It really just is. Okay, now we have the Prince. Sorry, I'm taking a moment because I feel like this Prince of Pentacles is kind of its own thing. Well, the bull, I guess this is a bull's skull. I'm not really seeing either. So I'm going to put Prince of Pentacles in its own category. And the Queen of Pentacles has, oh yeah, this queen doesn't have a, oh, it has a bunny too. I love this. Oh my God. If you are a fan of both Waitsmith and Thoth, like this kind of mashup is really lovely. It just makes me happy. This Queen of Pentacles has a little bunny, is holding a little bunny, and also has her ram friend. Oh my God. I freaking love that. Oh my God, I love that. Okay, that's the 50-50 one. That's a very well done Queen of Pentacles. I really enjoyed that. Okay, last card, you guys, and then we'll add up what's going on here. So we have the King of Pentacles, which is this plus size female. Definitely feels like a female presenting figure. And so the crown is a nod to the Knight of Discs armor. What do you call that? Headpiece, I guess. Oh my God, I can't think of the name of it. You guys are yelling at the screen. There's this house or castle in the distance giving a nod here. Is that grapes on her? This is definitely also, I think, a merging of the two ideas here. There's the little nods, grapes, this. There is no horse. There's no throne. The shield, the throne, the pentacle. I think this is a merging of the two, but it also, because this figure is so different, it kind of is doing its own thing as well. I think I might call this one a doing its own thing, because it steps outside of the energy of these two cards into something else, kind of, even though there's little tiny nods. Okay, so we're gonna call this doing its own thing. And now I'll speed this up, this part where I count how many of each. So we have a pile that is Thoth inspired. We have a pile that is Waite Smith inspired. These are slippy cards, sorry. We have a pile that is 50-50. Oh my gosh, I can't pick these up. And we have a pile that is doing its own thing. $16 cards that are really Thoth only, 21 cards that are really Waite Smith only. We have 22 cards that are 50-50 and 21 cards that go its own way. So I'd say this is fairly evenly split, but it's clear to me that the creator was doing their very best to merge these two decks. And they did, I think, a beautiful job of merging your Thoth and your Waite Smith. Some of these cards are probably my favorites, these merging ones, especially this Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, that was super fun. Thank you for sticking around with me to take a look at this comparison between the Lost Hollow and the Waite Smith and the Thoth Tarot. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for sticking around. I hope that you all have a beautiful, wonderful day.